Force Media, unclog your feed.
In the Bravo universe, there are two equally destructive forces: the Housewives, who start it, and the producers, who make sure it finishes on camera. These are their stories.
It's like 7 1/4.
7 1/4, even smaller. I have a huge head.
I love that you just whipped out a measuring tape and then told us 7 1/4. It's nice to know.
Yeah.
And it's only 8:04 in the morning.
Welcome back to another episode of Reality Court. My name is Ace Fanning, and I am an absolute nobody, joined by another has-been, Anna Kinkosis, former Real Housewife of Miami. And guys, when I tell you that we have a star today for you, I mean, I'm talking, this man has been in everything. We've got Friends, Two Broke Girls, Modern Family, Switched Before Birth, Bones, The Protector, Privileged, Redline, Because
Law and
I
Order.
Said So, What I Like About You, Charmed, ER, According to Jim. I mean, now, on his IMDb, it does say that he was on a show, according to Jim, and he's listed as queer guy, uncredited. So, listen. Guys, please welcome to Reality Court, one Mr. Doug Budin. Doug, wow.
I mean, I'm
Welcome.
nobody, a has-been, and a could-have-been. That's... Wow.
Ace does his research. I didn't even know all that.
You know what?
Okay.
That sounds like a good band name, you know? A no one, a has been, and a could have been. I like that.
Yeah.
Wow.
Well, before we get started,
Yes.
because you haven't been on before, we need to administer the Reality Court oath.
Oh,
Okay.
I don't need...
So
Yeah,
raise.
right?
It's very easy. No, your left hand.
Oh.
Okay. I, Doug Budin,
I, Doug Budin,
do solemnly
do
swear
solemnly swear
to tell some version of the truth,
to tell some version of the truth.
to own it,
Yeah. To own it.
to not be all uncool.
To not be all uncool.
So help me, Andy
So
Cohen.
help me, Andy Cohen.
Okay.
Thank
Now
you,
you're
Doug.
sworn in.
Thank
I mean,
you.
Very
Listen,
Do you really,
important.
for everybody, do you have to break it up into like 2 words at a time? I feel like we could have done a full phrase.
here's the thing. Some of our guests aren't that bright,
Yeah, they're not that
you know.
smart.
But
Doug.
we should
You're
have known.
used to.
We've got
Yeah,
Doug.
we're used to learning lines and memorizing lines. I could have just said the whole thing, but
Okay, so
It's
here we go.
for dramatic effect.
Mhm.
yeah, I like that. Now, Doug, everyone here knows you from Friends. You huge role on Friends, so everyone knows you from that. People may know you from Jeff Lewis Live. I don't know about that, but I think Friends is mainly where people are gonna remember you from. But Doug, I'm so excited to have you here because I feel like you, as Erica Jane once said, you're an enigma wrapped in cash. Because
Where's the
it's
cash?
so
That's
Where's the cash?
it's so interesting because you've really been able to stick around with Jeff and keep a good friendship when I feel like it's not always the easiest for people to do. And I feel like you're a legend for it, you know?
I think he's very careful. I'm telling you, I've seen it. He's also like, I think that he kind of understands Jeff. I think Jeff is, talk about an enigma. And I think Doug knows how to manage that friendship. And I think he really trusts you and really, really cares about you. So I think that's a nice
I
thing.
hope so. I mean, I just feel like I'm sort of just, I'm living my life and I don't think of it as like having to manage like anything,
Yeah.
special. It's like, this is just,
Him, the whole group and stuff. It's kind of, it's just like an ever-changing thing. That's why I think I love to listen to the show, because I'm always so surprised about everything that's going on. And I figured I know everything. And it's no. It's like a living, breathing thing, that show. It is.
The thing is, Anna, I also think it's really good to just also, you don't have to, I don't feel like I need to know everything, and not just like for plausible deniability, but because it's like if it's not my business and I don't, it's sort of
Right.
safer to not be
Right.
involved in it.
Yeah.
We all
agree.
have then
I
the
agree.
propensity to want to get in there and dish and give our POV when not
Yeah.
only did nobody ask, but it's just like unnecessary. So I'm very happy
Yeah.
to sort of be in the dark about a lot of this stuff
Yeah.
that goes on.
Yeah.
But I think that's why you're able to hang around, because you're not thirsty. You know, you're not the kind of person who's just like, please pay attention to me. Please give me everything you can.
But it's also
Like
that
Anna,
Doug,
you know, like, ugh.
Yeah.
Well,
like
I'm a
Doug
performer.
is-
I definitely, I'm
Yeah.
always looking for work and I'm looking for opportunities. So I'm not like a wallflower, like who's just like, oh, somebody's, but yeah, I also feel like I'm quite ancient. And so I feel like I've seen a lot of behavior that I find untoward. And so I try not to emulate and do that bad behavior. I just sort of try to do the right thing.
But also, I find that you stay very true to who you are, despite what anybody says, which is my favorite thing about you. And without question, I think you're for sure one of the absolute favorite chumps. But it is those little things, those little tidbits of information, the fact that you do research on stuff, and they may mock you and call you a nerd, but everyone really loves that. And there's nobody else there quite like you. Some of people that go on that show, are 6 of one, half a dozen of the other. They're fun, they're entertaining, but there's a very unique thing that you bring to that show, and I think a lot of the listeners really, really enjoy it.
I appreciate that. I have more fun doing Jeff's show than just about anything else, and so and it happened as such this happenstance, crazy thing that Jeff had invited me on years ago, and I just feel so blessed. So I really have the best time doing it, truly.
Listen, Doug,
Yeah.
I know that a lot of people probably just think that you live off of your residual checks from Friends. They're
I'll tell you, Ace, the ones from Friends are still pretty good. It's like,
really?
yeah, the ones from Friends are good. Modern Family also good. Even Bones still, that's fine. Not enough to live on, but I mean, like, I'll buy the fresh orange juice at Gelson's on those weeks when I get the check. But
Hell yeah.
the ones from like the Hughleys or Charmed, like the original Charmed, those are the ones, or foreign royalties. Those are the ones you'll get a check, an actual. Well, now they use direct deposit, but until recently we would get checks, and I would get a check for 1 penny, for 2 pennies, and I would deposit each and every one of them.
Absolutely.
Thank God for the mobile app. You can just cover. I would go to the bank and like give them my check for 3 cents, and that's right.
Why not? Why
How
not?
often-
You earned it.
How often do you get paid residuals?
Now it's quarterly, so it
Okay.
used to just be whenever they came. Like you would get, there's a friend of mine, Patrick Fischler, whom you definitely would recognize. And I remember going to his house once, and he had a stack of residual checks. And as somebody who had actually been diagnosed with OCD and continues to manage it, like I could never handle seeing that stack. So I would just, as soon as a check would come, I would go right to the bank. Now it's direct deposit, so we get them quarterly.
Okay. And you still, every penny counts.
Yeah, of course.
Absolutely.
Of course. It's still mailbox
Yeah.
money.
Exactly. Some of us just get different size mailbox money, but a penny is a penny. And people know, Jeff Lewis Live is another job of yours, but you also have another full-time career.
I do. I was on a Zoom already this morning. I've had this since I moved to LA, which is 20 plus years ago now. I booked I booked a part in a film which brought me out here originally, and then I was like, maybe I'll just stay here. And I went back and forth to New York. When I came back and decided to kind of be in LA for a while, I booked a pilot, and it was that classic naive thing where I was like, I booked this is it. I'm going to be rich and famous and working, and I'm never going to worry. And of course, the show didn't happen, and
Didn't
my
take
mortgage was still there. So I got this job with a marketing agency, which is headquartered or based in the East Coast, and it similar to my life on Jeff Lewis Live. Like I sort of fell into this job at an event. The CEO of this company had flown out to LA to cover this event, and he was like, "Well, would you consider doing it? You know, you seem to know what you're doing." And I said, "Okay." And here we are now, 20 whatever years later, and I've moved up in the ranks a little bit, and I do have this job, and we handle gay and lesbian marketing for big brands all over the country, and it's a great gig. And in terms of like timing with the rest of my life, because I still audition, I still do other things, I'm able right now to sort of carve my day out so that everything fits. And because they're East Coast based, I just work really between like 5:30 a.m. and 9 a.m. and then I can come back again in the later afternoon and finish everything up. So it's you know it's a great gig to have.
You know what? I think that it says so much about your character, because like I said, you could be just living off of your friends' residuals and stuff, but you're like, no, I'm going to work.
No,
I'm going to go to work.
You need to have a job. I mean, if I had booked some of the series that I had tested for, and you know, although even when you're shooting a series, it's not a full year commitment. You know, you're shooting for however many weeks the show is, and when you're an actor, you are blessed to have even just one solid week of work. You know, you used to be able to make a living just being a guest actor on TV series, and if you booked a few of those a year, you could really eke out an okay wage to live on. But it's not like that anymore. And now we have one-day contracts, and you know, there's a SAG, you know, there's a one-day guest star or the like, and so it's so rare to have an extended contract for work. So I think it would be foolish to ever give up a regular income, and also something that takes you out of that universe, so that you're not just always desperately looking for the next audition or the next job. I mean, I'm desperate to work, but at least I have this other job that keeps my life, you know, balanced.
Well, that's what Jeff says about Housewives, right? That they should not, right? And I think that is true. You know, Ace, when I thought that I could be an actor, because they called me specifically to audition
and
as the mother of the guy from the English teacher.
Mm-hmm.
Of course I didn't get it. I did my, what's it called? My sides?
Yeah.
Or whatever.
You did a self-tape.
A self-tape, and I sent it to Doug, and he was so polite because I sucked so bad. And he was like, no, yeah, I mean, I could just tell, but I thought I have to try because they called me specifically. Normally you go out and try to get these things. And then for a second there,
they
I
wanted
thought,
a household name. They were like, Anna Kinkosis.
Obviously.
That's who we need.
Anna, we did like a work session. I mean, there was some, you know, I was like, you have to I did tell Anna, I was like, you have to reshoot this. And you know, when you get your sides, Ace, they tell you like, so Anna's the entire audition like this, and I was like, no, I was like, you have to look up, and then I was like, hold your sides out so that they could see that you're holding the sides, but you have to look up and don't look into the camera, look up, and then I think Anna, you were like, you did a line. And then there was like a 45-second pause while you worked up what you wanted to do for that. I was like, I was like,
also
squeeze the space.
It wasn't, I had to do an accent, like a Colombian accent. And I don't even know how to do that. Like, I'm not good with accents. I don't even know what I was thinking. But
where can we get the footage?
It was so much better.
Oh my God, I'll die.
You have to get it. You have to get it to us. Like we need to see this, Anna. Like don't withhold this from people.
I don't know where it is. If Doug still has it, I don't
Doug's
care.
I
don't care if it's
Anna texted it or emailed it to me. So
exactly. I don't have it, but
I love you.
If
Doug.
you have it, send it to Ace. I don't care. All he does is make fun of me on this
I'm going to
show.
look through our history because there were a few auditions that you've had. I mean,
I know. Because after that, I thought, I could do it. If it's in English.
I thought you were absolutely good enough. Like I think it was fine to submit what you submitted. Truly, because I told you like try one more time. But,
yeah, that one was whatever. You miss 100% of the shots
in
you
my
don't
head,
take.
and I imagine that she was like, "What do you mean you are talking to me like that?"
It was something like that. Shut up, Ace. Shut
it
up.
got better. That's the important
Okay,
thing.
good. That's what matters.
Yeah.
Doug, what's like the biggest role that you've gotten so close to getting and then it didn't happen and then you had to go to the fucking theater or watch it on TV and you were like, that would have been me?
I mean, it's a very easy, quick answer. It was Modern Family, the role of Cameron. Because
of
course,
you would have been the perfect Cameron.
No, Eric Stone Street was the perfect Cameron, and he was Cameron. But I tested against him at the studio and also at the network, and that was a very. I mean, it was just one. That's what happens. You don't get it, and the other person does, and he won however many Emmys. He was wonderful, and I think I would have been great. I just would have been different, but that one was really, really hard to not get because, by the time you're testing, you test at the studio and then you move to the last step, which is testing at the network. And, you just, by that point, you've signed your test deal. You know how much you're going to make each season, where your name is going to be in the credits and your trailer, like all the extra things. So you just, it's at that point where it's easy to become kind of attached to it. And so that was really the hard one for me. And I hope that's it. I hope I don't have to deal with that again.
Right.
So is there like an episode out there on the cutting room floor where you are Cam?
No, not an episode. I didn't film the pilot. Before casting the pilot, the final step is the test. But at I don't remember it at Fox, but I remember at ABC, which was the last day. Ty Burrell was there, whom I had done an episode of Out of Practice with, and I knew him. I know Jesse. So there were the alternate choices, whereas I was like the other choice for Cameron. I remember some of the actors who were there to read for Claire. Wasn't that her name, Claire? Julie Bowen.
Yeah, Claire.
An actress that I had worked with was testing against Julie Bowen, and I remember some of the people who were testing against Jesse and whatnot. And so there's no footage of me doing Cam.
Okay.
Okay.
Oh, and they gave it to a straight guy.
Well, they gave it to the guy that they thought was the right for the role. And look, I mean, again, it's not like he sank the show. He did. The show was fantastic.
It was a good
What was hard for me was right after that, they brought me in. They were like, oh, we have you in mind for this role. And they brought me in and it was so good. And I was like, all right, I'll end up with this other recurring role. And that was Pepper, which went to Nathan Lane. Pepper.
Yeah.
That was Nathan Lane.
Aww.
Then there was like they ended up bringing me in maybe 19 times for different.
Wow.
And
19 times prostitution.
I was the Erica Kane. I was the Susan Lucci. Sorry. Yeah. I was the
Susan Lucci.
I mean, that became sort of like the joke with casting. And I'll tell you, though, the truth, and I'll say this now, like each time it got harder and harder. Going back to the Fox lot, going back into that waiting room when they knew me, like they knew what I could do, but new writers come in and new producers come in. And I was really struggling with it. I mean, obviously it went over years, all of these auditions. And then I was talking with my agent and she said, you can just say no, like the next one. And I'd never passed in an audition. I grew up, any opportunity you take. And
right.
I finally said to the casting, I said, I can't come back. Like it was so painful for whatever reason. It was,
right. That is.
And right after that, they called my agent and said, we are able to offer Doug the role of this principal, which I did a couple of episodes for. And it was a gamble, but it was not a strategy. It just really was too hard for me to go back. It was like killing my psyche. I had decided I had to get out of LA and move back to New York, and I was just going to leave all of this because I couldn't face it. It was a mountain I could not climb and scale. I just couldn't do it. So
it's not easy.
You gotta be so fucking tough, I feel like, to go through Hollywood and deal with that and stuff. And I don't have that. Oh my God. I would be for sure. Like, how do you get to a place where you can just like, okay, thanks, you know?
I try to be grateful for everything I have. And again, it doesn't mean that I don't want for more, but I'm also somebody who thinks in extremes. So I will go as far, like when I'm feeling weird about something or down about something I don't have or whatever, I will remind myself that I have clean water and electricity and I have a roof over my head, and how that already puts me in the top 10% of people on this planet. How many people don't have access to basic needs? And as silly as that could be, that helps me get into a normal place, because there's always going to be, and especially here in LA or in New York City or in Miami or Charlotte, wherever you are, there are always going to be people with so much more. And it's so easy to fall into that. Why isn't that me? And instead of letting yourself do that, because then you're wallowing in this weird, you don't want like self-pity, and then it's just gross. So I try to take a step back, reapproach it, and each of those things becomes less important. And so you just, and it's the business. This business is being told no a lot more than being told yes. And when we think about all these celebrities and the people that we get to work with, either on the radio or in the podcast or when we do work, those are the exceptions, right? For every one person working in television or in film, there are 14,000 who auditioned for. So,
I was just going to say that when you do that, and I do it as well, because I've had a big struggle with this bomb cyclone here, having to move. The house is nowhere near ready. And then I said to Ken last night, I said, you know what? I really need to be grateful and remember that I'm living in one house. We're remodeling another one. This is a great, exciting thing. Yes, it's not easy and it is stressful, but we're lucky. And you know, when you say there are so many people with more, there are far more people with less.
Exactly. Well said.
Always.
Well said.
Yeah. And so it's something that you need to remind yourself of. And Ace and I don't make a secret of our mental health issues. You know, we both have them. He's a little crazier than I am, but
I don't have any mental health issues.
Well, and we will like call each other and seriously, sometimes what happened? You've been crying, whatever. And it's like, I just think that I believe that social media is the devil. Honestly, it's for me, it's a necessary evil, but you know, I believe that it's ruined our perception of what life is really like and what it should be. And it's so sad to me, because if I don't look at it for a while, I feel a lot happier. And so I think I have, you know, just a real sense of who I am and all these things. And then I'm affected. Why is everybody always on vacation? And why is everybody so skinny? And why does nobody have wrinkles? And why does everybody's hair always perfect? And it's like, even I fall for it. So
Anna, in those situations, you just have to stop following Doug, because it's hard. I mean, he has incredible hair. He's always on vacation. Like he's thin as hell. Like it's hard. I can't do it. It's hard when I see Doug. You know, it's just like
Doug is going to be living better than all of us when his mom dies.
Oh, poo.
According to Jeff.
But yeah, thanks to like Instagram, I purchased this automatic ironing machine at 3:30 in the morning off an Instagram ad. And on Saturday evening, I was at a friend's baby shower and I got home and it had been delivered. I spent Saturday evening alone on my kitchen floor in my underwear, ironing my shirts. Like, you know,
Is it good?
it isn't bad. It's not as crisp as an iron, but it's better than my steamer, that's for sure. And I loathe
the
ironing.
steamer.
I hate it so much. So look, this had been totally wrinkled. So that's the other thing is I took like half of my shirts and I put them in the rinse cycle because you want it to be damp. And I was like, oh, now they're wrinkled. I ironed this one and I mean, it looks pretty good.
It looks good.
I feel like, Doug, you're going to
great.
start purposely looking for anything that needs a good ironing.
Ace, when I got my, what was that? The vacuum sealer.
Oh, yeah.
I got a vacuum sealer. I remember we were talking about it on Jeff's show, and Megan was like, went to commercial. She's like, you have a problem. Because I started vacuum sealing everything. I was like, I took a book of matches and I vacuum seal them in case I get a flood, and then I'll have the matches and they're going to be dry. And around my house, everything was vacuum
sealed. And the pressure cleaner.
Oh, my pressure cleaner. But do you know
I love a pressure
cleaner. Borrowed my pressure cleaner. In fact, I want to tell Jeff, because at his new house, there's this area that has like a stained sidewalk.
You think he's going to do it?
But do you know I would do it for free for anyone? There is
I know. You love it.
Satisfaction in pressure washing.
You do love it. It's so funny.
Absolutely love it. I love it. Have you done it yet, Ace?
I have not. I got a pressure washer like for inside the house, and it let me down. Don't do it.
It's is a pressure washer?
It's like
not the rainbow.
No, it's not like it's not nearly as strong as like the one that's
I
outside.
hope not.
Okay.
No, and it was a letdown. So, but I do want one for outside. What I'll do with it, I don't know.
They're so good.
Doug, now I want to ask you about this, and I hope this isn't annoying for you, but you mentioned Megan, and I know that Jeff and Megan, they had their falling out, but one of my favorite Chump relationships was you and Megan, and I'm curious, did their falling out have an effect or impact on the relationship that you two have?
I mean, the short answer is yes. You know, Megan and I we spent a lot of time together out of the show, but it was really like a lot of our relationship was around Jeff's show. And so it's like when you're at work, when you leave your place of work and then like you still have your work friends, but you like there are less instances to see them. But we would get together certainly out of the show. I would go to her house or she would come here if she was in town. So just the nature of her not being on the show absolutely affected the ability and just the opportunities.
The whole dynamic,
as much, for sure.
Yeah.
But you guys are still good.
Yeah. I mean, she texted me on my birthday. It isn't like it was before. That's for sure. I don't want to make any claims that it is, but I still follow like her life and her children. And I know she does with me too.
Well, I'm happy to hear that.
How was Ryan's baby shower? I saw pictures. You looked so cute. I love how Doug dresses. He's very preppy, and I love that.
Very preppy. I saw the sweater over your shoulders and everything.
I bought this sweater. I was so excited to wear this sweater at the baby shower. And then it was like hot. 85 degrees. And I was like, no, I need to have this sweater. Wait, can I grab it? Can I show you this sweater?
Yeah, absolutely.
Yes,
please.
Go.
Hold on.
I hope that he's going to come back.
I got to let
nude.
Harry out. She's crying. Hold on.
I'm coming. Right, Harry. Here I come. Look.
He told me to keep Harry in here. But
it's a good green, which is good for me.
Beautiful.
Oh, yeah.
Look at this.
Wow.
Oh, my God. It's Winnie the Pooh.
It's Winnie the Pooh. And I thought...
Oh my God, I love it.
So I tied it over my shoulder and I did a terrible job, but Kian, who is part of the Jeff Lewis team, he was like, let me fix that for you. And not only did he tie my sweater sort of in that, jaunty.
Yes, he showed the
I got like DMs from people on Instagram who were like, hey, could you show us how you tied your sweater? And I was like, I forwarded it.
Yeah, because it was like a cool way. Beva does it like that too.
I tried it. I watched this video I watched it over and over and over again, and I couldn't get it, but it was done in a way that like almost like a slip knot. But Kian was able to do that. You know, that there you go. You're talking about like social media as the devil. Let me tell you, Anna, I booked a part. It was privileged, which you mentioned earlier. I was their school teacher, and when I went to my fitting at Paramount, they had all these suits, you know, for me because we were going to do a couple of episodes, and they had all these ties laid out, and I hate wearing a straight tie. And I said, you know, I feel like this guy is more of a bow tie person.
Bow tie.
I had never worn a real bow tie before.
Or tied one.
And no, they were like, well, you know, our on-set wardrobe supervisor is not good with bow ties. So I said, well, I can tie a bow tie. Absolutely. I had never even held a full bow tie. They were like, okay, well, when you come back for your next fitting, we'll have bow ties pulled for you. I went online. I Googled and I watched this YouTube video probably 40 times on how to tie a bow tie. Yeah. And when I went back to Paramount for the final fitting, they had all these bow ties. I didn't even have to look in the mirror. I picked it up and I was like, I just did it automatically.
You became bow tie guy.
Now I love to wear bow ties. And now I know how to tie a bow tie. Thank you to social media and, you know, online.
Yeah, there are some great things. I just think that lately they far exceed the good things.
Yeah. That's what Hollywood is, though. I feel like so many times you just have to fake it till you make it. And do you know, Doug, on your resume, are there any special skills that maybe you don't quite have?
I don't think he would.
Rollerblading?
Well, I've heard people say, like, I put rollerblading on there. I've never done rollerblading before.
No.
Or...
I grew up in New York City. Like, I used to rollerblade. I lived on the west side, on West End Avenue, and I worked at this tchotchke, this gift shop on Madison Avenue, and I would rollerblade to and from work through Central Park every day. I would have my sneakers, like, over my shoulder, or my shoes over my shoulder, rollerblade, and I didn't wear any sort of like protective gear, except I owned one wrist guard. I feel like it sort of fell by the wayside at some point. But so rollerblading. A lot of people would put horseback riding on their special skills. Though in those days, your special skills was super important. I feel like mine was like that. I did good accents. My fake sneeze, which was, you know,
yes, incredible,
which became useful when I auditioned for a movie, and I was not auditioning to sneeze. I was auditioning for a totally different role, and I heard the person audition right before me, and they were just doing a lot of sneezing, and I asked the director about it, and I said, "What is that?" And he said, "Oh, it's this person who can't stop sneezing." And I said, "Well, look at the last line of my special skills." And he saw that it said really good fake sneezer. And he said, oh, I guess you'll audition for 2 roles in it. And I ended up booking the sneezing role. So that.
How does one find out they have an incredible fake sneeze?
Right. Yeah.
Calling out of work?
I don't know. I don't even remember how, but I had auditioned for like a couple of cold commercials before. And I was a really good fake sneeze. And then my commercial agent sold an audio of my fake sneeze, which appeared in many cold commercials without me, just the audible. But then when Jeff found out, I forget how he found out. I must have told him for whatever reason, but he had me play a prank on Jameson. That the video is so funny. Because I used to, you know, you would dip your finger in water and you get behind the person. And he goes,
oh yeah. Yeah.
I did that to Jameson. And the video,
he must have freaked out.
He freezes because he got all wet with the water. And he's like, not real, right? Not real. And Jeff he's terrible at, like, you know, keeping it up. He was laughing so hard, but it's a great, great moment.
That's so funny. Ace, you have no special skills.
Yeah, what are yours?
He's a gymnast.
Yeah, I was a gymnast.
What was your
and he's pretty good
apparatus of choice?
Like tumbling. I'm a really good tumbler.
I'll tumble. Really?
Yeah.
Oh my
Can you
God.
do,
But
can you do a what's that called?
Somersault.
No,
a cartwheel?
cartwheel.
Cartwheel.
I can cartwheel. I can backflip.
Oh, that's amazing.
No, he's good. He's really good.
Ace, that's amazing.
Thank you. You know what? I don't.
And he's a really good dancer, Ace. You're a really good
You
dancer.
must
thank
be
you.
quite limber as if you're a tumbler.
Yeah. Special skill. I can get an erection on demand. You know, just cool stuff like that. You know,
I don't know
whatever.
that you would want to put that on your like regular acting resume, but certainly a specialized resume. That's
Gotcha.
skill.
Yeah. No,
He
I appreciate
applied.
that.
He just applied to traders, like the normie trader.
Yeah.
Traders. He really, like for not celebrities.
Yeah. It's just
And
normal
we
people.
really
and
need him on there.
I'm really hoping that they one day call me back.
Are you a huge
Is your video really good?
No, if it's really good. I submitted a video and I thought I was myself, but you know, maybe I'm not supposed to be myself.
Make another one.
Yeah, let's send another one.
Doug, listen, I want to talk to you about some Bravo stuff that's happening.
Yes.
And the very first thing I want to ask you about, because listen, here, Anna's had a Jewish man inside of her. I'm not Jewish. You are Jewish. So I'm curious to know, where do you stand on this whole Meredith versus Brittany, the bigotry? What are your thoughts on that situation?
Ooh, it's well, obviously, as somebody I watched the show, I was so surprised about all of the Jew hating manicurist or whatever that the whole thing. I thought all of that was weird. And then when Andy said to Meredith, like, do you think Brittany is anti-Semitic? And she said yes. And like that's I don't know if it's or not. But that is a huge statement to say.
Yeah.
I mean, again, like who? Maybe it's true, maybe it's not true, but to be able to say that so unequivocally it's a huge deal to me to have done that. And again, I don't know Brittany from Rabbi.
I just don't. I think she's a little bit airheady, but I do not think that she's anti-Semitic at all. Like I don't know why I think that. We've had her on here.
You can't like. How could you say you think this way or that way? Like, why would we have why would we even have an opinion on?
No, I know. But I don't know. She was so upset, like so freaked out by it. And I don't know. I think that these shows have gotten to the point where before it was just petty bickering and now it's like, I'm going to destroy you, and that's it kills me because I think that they will do and say anything to stay, or to be right.
Yeah.
I think the thing that stood out for me was the thing Meredith was really, banking on was she's like, it was in social media, it was on the news, and it's like, but you think Brittany's Instagram is Brittany. Like she's looking at videos of herself, she's watching people talk about her, like she's not watching that, she's not. No. And I just felt kind of like, okay, you expect Brittany to really be honed in on the world news? And
it's also we've all had experiences where like you could like something or whatever and not
Gretchers.
That's what I'm thinking of is like all of those posts. And even I was like, I read something recently. I feel like maybe it was about some post that Vicky did that was very polarizing. And I was like, oh, I wonder if I liked it because it's like, if I see somebody post something, sometimes I will just like it. So I think it's important to really
listen to think through.
Saying, but it's also very easy to somehow, endorse, for lack of a better word, just like something when somebody and I can totally see wanting to give a positive review to this person who showed up to give me a free manicure without having like done all the homework to see who they are. And, a good manicure is a good manicure, but like what they represent elsewhere, I can't take that all on. I mean, that's I think that would be crazy.
Yeah, Doug, I don't know if you're aware, but you have I have a separate Instagram for all my nudes, and you've liked a couple of those. So I do appreciate the likes. Thank you.
You got it. Do they show They don't show nudes on Instagram.
No, it's just Twitter. Just Twitter, they do that.
I don't have Twitter.
Do they really?
Oh, Twitter's like the new Pornhub. I'll tell you.
Oh, I don't have Twitter, but maybe I should. Wait, it is. Didn't Twitter? It's not Twitter.
It's now X.
It's X.
Yeah.
I don't have.
Yeah. If you listen, I'm just saying, if you like homemade amateur porn, which is my favorite,
there are plenty of
X is where it's at.
There are a lot of places to find porn. So I've heard.
So I've had my KY lube delivered to my hotel. You know, we all have our things. Okay, so where are you at with Real Housewives of Beverly Hills? Who are you liking? Who are you not liking?
I mean, I love the show. It's this whole Amada, the new housewife. It seems like everybody's kind of onto her as we're watching it all unfold. And so I'm just as curious as everybody else to see where this goes. It's a little weird to me right now because like all these stories come out now about stuff that we're watching that was filmed a year ago. Like I'm still not great at like moving back to that time period when it was filmed.
Right.
And now here. So, I mean, it was like weird to me to see like Mauricio like pop into Avra or wherever they were having, it wasn't Avra.
And flirt with Dorit.
You thought he was flirting?
That was a little.
I felt like he was just, especially coming off of Kyle saying that like in Aspen, she felt like she was invisible to him. And then he comes in and then he's like, turns his whole body. Like his body language was like, I'm talking to Dorit right now. It's kind of like, yikes.
He wouldn't be flirting.
No, she was like,
and then he was in Aspen. He does get around, right?
Busy.
Stephanie was flirting with him. Is that no? Not Stacy. Stacy was flirting with him, right?
No,
Ashley.
Ashley.
Oh, you're right. It was that they were saying that Stacy should.
Yeah.
Right.
So did you cry your eyes out when we had to go through Kyle's old house? Or was that just me?
I think
just you, Ace.
That was tough.
Yeah.
It's still...
Well, it was tough because he didn't feel anything.
It is tough. And hearing Portia, who was she inviting? That's what I was trying to, like, in my mental list. I was
her
like,
birthday party.
Go back. Who was she inviting to her? Was that Faye Resnick? Who was on the other end of the phone?
I remember, I think she called several of them, but in that particular scene they showed, I do think it may have been Faye.
Because I remember Lisa Vanderpump was on there, but they had a sort of very sweet back and forth. So I think it wasn't Lisa, but I remember that scene from however many years ago. So yeah, I thought it was sweet. And I am somebody who does get emotional about like properties. I'm been in the same house forever. So I understand what Kyle went through, but it's also like, it was sad, but it didn't make me cry.
Oh, I was crying. I was. Listen, we already established I'm emotionally unstable. All right.
Well, don't say that. Their traders could hear you, and then they're not.
Oh, true. I mean, I'm totally cool. Totally cool. No worries here.
But you are in a lavender marriage.
Yes, absolutely. Doug, I have something I have to tell you. This just came to my mind, and I feel like this is something you're going to be really excited to hear about. I hope, but I have a huge job coming up.
Great.
I am going to go and test out the slides that come out of planes. Yeah.
Why are you doing that?
No.
Because it's an opportunity. Because it's a dream. A dream of mine is to always have gone down a slide on an airplane.
But not in an emergency situation.
Well, I would hope not.
Great. But... That is feet first. Don't take your bag.
And
then get out.
Doug, they told us that there's going to be a situation where it's going to be pitch black and we just have to listen to them say jump. And we have to jump.
So excited for you.
Please, thank
you. Let me know. When are you doing it?
The 19th, I think. It's a Thursday. In a hangar? I don't know what we're doing it in. That's still unclear, but I had to do
Are they paying you?
$30 an hour?
No.
And I'm like, this was my make-a-wish. Like, I was happy to be here, but sure, pay me too. And I had to do a whole physical test. I had to do like squats. I had to do a duck walk. I had to do all sorts of stuff.
I hope you're getting all types of body. You've just revealed you're a gymnast. I mean, like, you should be able to somersault and double axel pirouette down that slide, but they need people with regular bodies.
So they said 3 people failed the physical test that day before me.
And how many squats did you have to do?
Only 3.
Oh, well.
But the hard thing was the duck walk. Have you ever done a duck walk?
I don't think I know.
It's you go down in a squat and then you have to walk like that.
Oh, no, I can't do that. Right now, I'm telling you, I can't do that. No way.
I don't know what it was for. They also asked.
So are you going to be on a plane?
That is a separate video. That's somebody's right now.
They made only you do that. They had you do it.
Now they do ask, are you claustrophobic? And I said no, which is not true, but it is what it is. Sometimes you got.
But will you be on the plane and they will feign an emergency situation?
I don't know. It's all brand new to me.
I think
this is a whole new
I
venture.
volunteered with my friend Rick to be a passenger at the Delta terminal before it opened to the public.
Yes, I remember that.
All of that, but we didn't get paid $30. And we each got a profile. I think I was a drug. I originally thought I was smuggling drugs because I was going to Mexico and I had 5 suitcases to check. And I said, who goes into Mexico with 5 empty suitcases? And I was really creating this whole character as I was giving them my bags to check into the plane. And I'm trying to think of the name of the city in Mexico I was going to, but it was something like San Andreas or something like that. And and I'm really going through it, and I'm saying these are my bags. There's nothing nefarious going on or whatever. And the guy goes, I hope you packed a lot of sweaters. And I said, for Mexico? No, it's not necessary. And he said, Mexico? You're going to the so-and-so convention. And it was like some northern Minnesota town. And it had a Spanish name. And so I thought it was Mexico, but it wasn't.
Oh, shoot. Your bags were packed all wrong.
Yep.
You were going to bring a lot of cocaine to that convention.
Yeah, I thought it would be cocaine that you swallowed and then had to poop out.
No, do you watch?
That's how they do it now.
Ace, do you watch any of those shows like Airport where you're?
Oh,
yeah.
The airport one with where it was Southwest. That was one of my favorite shows of all time.
I love that one. Those are all on YouTube. And then there was one that was was it London? It was Gatwick, maybe. And we followed all of I remember there was that guy, Jedediah Speaks from Aeroflot. And he gave us a tour of the brand new 777 or 787. I love those airport shows.
You fly a lot. Have you ever had a really scary experience? Not like the bug in your salad, really scary.
Listen, I'm 57. So when I was young, I remember our plane got struck by lightning. But actually, I feel like they didn't tell us that happened until after, but we knew something happened because you hear it and the lights go crazy. The one that I think of though is we lost an engine and we landed in Chicago, and you could tell something happened. I didn't see flames, I didn't see anything like that, but all of a sudden we all went like this, and then the plane leveled off, and we all you could tell something had gone. And the pilot came on and said, we lost an engine or we're down it, whatever he said. But he said, we're totally fine. It just means it's going to take too long to get there. And we ended up landing in Chicago and we moved different planes. But I don't think.
So have you ever had the thing drop?
I have had the oxygen mask. And they don't inflate. And so when God forbid you ever are in that situation, pull the mask toward you, place it on your nose and mouth to breathe normally. But the oxygen mask, that little bag will not inflate.
Yeah, will not inflate. You don't even know if it's working or not. You're just like, great.
Right. And it also, the air is cold and smelly.
Oh, maybe I'd rather die. Maybe just.
I've had several times, even recently, and San Francisco in particular. You have to do a go around, like you start to land, and then you immediately go right back up, and then you circle. Oh, I just remembered one where I was genuinely panicked. Was flying. It's like the world's shortest flight. It's from Martha's Vineyard to Nantucket, and it's an 11-minute
2
flight.
seconds. Yeah.
Right before you take off, you call your friend. You're like, okay, we're taking off. And it was on Cape Air, which is what they based the TV series Wings on. You know, these were local, teeny little planes. Because I'm so fat, I would always have to sit in the co-pilot seat because they balance the plane for weight. When you sit in the co-pilot seat, you are in the co-pilot seat. Like, there's the pilot next to you and all the controls. And I was an adult. I was in my 30s, I think, when I was spent a summer there. And they don't say, like, don't touch anything. Like, they should make it so that you're not allowed to, but they don't. They're just like, you're sitting there. And in fact, right before you take off, the pilot said, you know, could you shut the window? And I had to close the window. And we were landing in Nantucket. And we were coming down, and there was terrible fog. And I could see on the altimeter, like we're descending, you know, and then you hear terrain, pull up, terrain. And the pilot, you know, pulled back.
It's pulling back on
went right up. And I could still see her hands were shaking. And she grabbed this like approach manual, whatever it is, like their instructions. It's like a laminated thing. And she said to me, we're going to circle around a bit so I could build back my confidence, and we're going to try again. And I turned around to my friend Randall, who was behind me, and like everybody, their faces were white, like this cup, everybody. And I was like, wow, these are people who commute every day, because they were some nurses who were going to the hospital. I was like, they do this every day, and they are as white as it was.
Yeah. But I mean, come on, she didn't give you any. Right. She didn't give you any, like, on the contrary, she made you feel more uncertain. Like,
that was,
I was shocked she didn't say, I'm going to need you to take over.
Yeah, exactly.
No, and we ended up, we circled for a while. It ended up like being over an hour and a half flight. We had, when we did come back in Nantucket, it had burned off, and we landed fine. But I mean, that one, I was really, really scared.
I'm terrified of flying.
Really?
But I'm excited for the slide.
Are you not?
Well, I'm terrified. Well, you know what? Here's the thing. I am not terrified while I'm on it, but if I start thinking about flying and like the logistics and like you're this high up in the sky and how does that all work, then I get like freaked out about it. So I have to not think about it. But I'll tell you, some of my favorite videos are people getting arrested on planes or at airports and like losing their shit. I love watching someone lose their shit on a plane.
Talking about losing their shit, did you see the person that had diarrhea all over the plane? But I'm talking about, what is that? They were dragging him.
Yeah, it was up and down the aisles. It was not.
And it was a biohazard. They had to land.
Yeah.
Can you imagine? Like, I don't know. Isn't there a limited amount of diarrhea you can have?
Guess not.
How can it overflow? Like, how
they could have been building up. You never know.
Yeah,
you never know.
It wasn't even that big a person. How embarrassing! Embarrassing.
We talk airline quite a bit in our texts. You know, we share our little tips and tricks.
Yeah.
Doug. Well, okay. Back to Beverly Hills, really quick.
Yeah. Sorry.
No, you're fine. You're fine. You're good.
It's 8:58 in the morning where I am. You know,
diarrhea is what we're talking about. Amanda Francis. Now we touched on her just a little bit, but like, what are you really thinking about Amanda Francis?
It's like it seems like a put on. So I'm not like I could take her or leave her, but I feel like the rest. I enjoy watching. Like one of my favorite moments was when she was in the car. She was like, and then like talking on her phone. And like I love those moments. So it would be a shame to not have her there, because then we would have we wouldn't get Erica saying like "don't perform" or whatever she said. I thought that was so great.
I just think that I think the gig is up for her. I was telling Ace this on our last episode because she has these. We went through. Ace did a deep dive, and she has all these courses where it's like money vibes and this, and it's all you could tell it's all
bullshit,
fabricated and made up for people.
But she made the money, right? I mean, like she
did, but she made the money doing that.
Right.
This is my problem. Like, if you were successful and then created a program to teach people how you became successful in another area, right? But if your success is from the very class, then, I think that it's very clear to people now that, if you look at her website, it's ridiculous. And I think that she should have just stayed quiet in Kyle's old house and not been on that show. Because I don't think that people are going to be buying there's a course that's $44,000.
Yeah.
Do you see? I see a lot of. I never know what's real, especially on what I'm fed.
Neither does Anna.
But like, there's all these articles that I'm all of a sudden seeing her like nobody wants to film with her, whatever. But it's like they already filmed it, so like I feel like well that can't be real because they're not filming it now. But do you think she would be back next season? Is it too early to tell? Like, what are your thoughts?
We'd have to see the reunion, right?
Did they?
I hope she comes back because I love someone to hate.
Right?
That's part of Housewives.
Well, she behaves really cringy,
yes.
and the whole thing of like I bought the house by myself,
right.
I wrote the book why don't you just write it? She self-published her books. It's different, and and I've never had a ghostwriter, but a lot of people do, and it's fine. You sit with the person and you tell them, what your life is, and you clarify certain things. But she has so much to prove. Huh?
I said, okay, Aviva Drescher. Do you remember Aviva?
Right.
With Carol?
Yes.
Will?
Yeah.
Oh, but I wrote my book. I sat down and I wrote it. Just like, so did I.
I wrote it. And exactly.
I feel like Amanda Francis is the kind of person who would enter a relationship with like her chat GPT. Like, I feel like kind of what Anna has with hers, like
Alan.
Yeah. Anna and Alan. I just feel like she feels very lonely to me. Like, I feel like she has all these people who are working for her, but I feel like no one's actually like likes her or is her friend, and she just surrounds
posse at all, right? Like this group, the group of housewives, is not part of her actual circle of friends. Like that. I think that's a glaringly obvious on this show because everybody seems so bothered by her. Like nobody would choose to be with her had they not been cast.
It's really a strange casting, honestly. Why? Because she bought Kyle's house.
Well, don't forget we had what was the one lady's name? Anna. She was the Anna's nurse anesthetist.
Anne Marie.
Yes, Anne Marie. And it was like I saw her while I was walking in the neighborhood.
Yeah,
5 miles away. Okay, that was
so much goes into the casting of these things, and I've heard that they've even filmed. I think it was for New York. Like they had filmed that friend of Jill Zarin's, who was the party planner. Like they had even
Elise
filmed,
or
no before. I feel like her name was Jen or something like that. But that they had filmed all of this stuff with her. Like she thought she was going to be one of the housewives, and then in the edit they sort of removed her whole story. And we saw her just a couple of times over the years. But like for every housewife, there are these other ones that have filmed with them that you just. Did you have that, Anna, in OG Miami? Was there anybody that
No, I mean,
just
look,
Anna.
they kept everything very on the DL. But honestly, it was such a different time.
Agreed.
I remember telling them, "Look, I'm not like these women. I don't spend my day planning my next aromatherapy trip. I'm a working stiff. Like, yes, I have a nice house, but I have to go to, you're a breath of fresh air." Today, they don't want that. And I get it. Today, I would not survive or want to survive in that world. It's not, I don't, my mental health does not allow me to do something like that. And that's why it's so funny when people think it's like, oh, she's dying to, no, I would do something else, but not that. That is just not good I'm too old. I'm too tired. I am at the point, you know what I'm saying? Like you get to a certain point. Okay. When I just turned 60, right? Well, not just, and my circle has gotten smaller. I have a palpable feeling that my time is limited and I'm going to be very selective. And so 0% of my time do I want to be in a situation where I'm tearing down other women or they're tearing me down or any of that. No. If I can't learn something from it, if I don't grow from it or evolve from it, I don't want it.
That's great.
And so I would
you go on
would never.
Like, would you go on a reality competition show?
Well, I did Food Network Star, and that, again, I was younger. Yeah. It was 2015, but I was the oldest one there, and that's a different thing. You have to have a skill set. Yeah. And you don't focus on, and they were super hard on me. I made it all the way to the end, but they were like, oh no, Bobby Flay's in love with you, or you're doing something with him after hours. It's like, no, they put us in a Courtyard Marriott and sequestered us and took our TVs. Right. It was horrible, but I was there for 9 weeks and exhausting, but I liked it. I liked it because I felt I ended up having food cred that I didn't have because I'm not a classically trained chef, and Bobby Flay would say such nice things and such great things about my food. So, but today I don't think I would do a competition show. I mean, I would do Traders. Even though it scares me because I really have an issue with bugs. That's not like, I will throw myself out of a moving car. It's not even a joke of like, oh, I hate bugs. No, I have a physical reaction where you could put a rat in front of me and it wouldn't bother me as much as a roach. A roach to me is...
A roach is the worst, but a rat's also...
It's disgusting,
that's
but no.
Right?
I could do spiders, lizards.
Roach is big.
Yeah, no, I can't. So, but I would do that because I like, the whole psychological warfare part of it, and I think it's fun. But I would judge things like I've done, Chopped and all that stuff. I don't know. You really wait till you turn 60. You really change about what you're willing to do. Like
Doug's 30. He's got a long time.
Yeah.
Going back for a second, Doug, you had mentioned a housewife who had filmed and then got cut out with Jill Zarin. If you go back to season 9 of Real Housewives of Orange County, it's the season that Lizzie's on, Kentucky Fried Tits or whatever.
Rob
called her.
Rob check. Yeah.
There is a woman on there named Danielle, and she filmed the entire season as like a Real Housewife, but there was a rumor coming out that her husband was gay. And so he threatened, they'd cut her out of everything. But she's you see her at the trip, you see her at every party. There's a party that happens at her house. And then I remember a couple of years ago, I was watching it over again and I was like, where is this woman? Who is she? Then that's what happened. I always find that interesting. Speaking of Housewives shows, before we go, I need to know, what are your thoughts on this Real Housewives of New York revamp situation on E? We've got our old gals back.
So can you remind me though? It's Jill, Ramona, Luann,
and Sonia. And Kelly Ben Simone.
And Kelly
Ben.
Well, great.
No Dorinda.
Right, no Dorinda, and who else though? No Bethany.
No Bethany, of course.
And no Alex.
Are you excited about it?
Sure, I'll watch it. Why not? I mean,
I just think
I wanted wetting Bravo myself. To do it. I was so excited for this because it's just
I think it's great. It's okay.
I think that the fact that we have Ramona Singer in the deal is wild to me because she's so cancelable, cancelable.
Right.
Cancelable. She's so awful. I love to watch her. I love to hate her. She's a favorite.
She was on Instagram the other day. Go ahead.
I was just going to where do they live in Florida? Jill lives in Florida. Doesn't Ramona?
Sonia's in Florida.
So
Luann,
a Florida show?
I'm assuming. I don't know.
Yeah.
Okay.
They live in Palm Beach County.
Yeah.
So maybe because of the Netflix members of Palm Beach.
Yeah.
Like, oh, we need a version, and maybe.
Right. Well, Jill's trying to get on that too.
Yeah.
You know, Jill's trying to get on everything.
Right.
But I have a feeling she's the one that put all this together. I really.
Well, but again, it makes sense because if they want to compete in that arena, and here you have already established personalities, it makes sense, right? Like, okay, here's a known entity. It's the same reason why, on Broadway, it's the revivals that get put up faster than any new material. Go with something you know. So here's these women we already know who happen to live in Florida now.
I just think they're all a little unhinged. Seriously, I think if you do these shows long enough, you become a little unstable. And like Sonia, for example, she's been on the show here. She's so much fun. But do you remember all the things she said that she wasn't supposed to say? And she was climbing over her furniture and stuff. Don't you remember, Ace?
Yeah.
How wild she was?
I love her.
And then Ramona will do and say anything, you know? And so what's it going to be? It'd probably be super entertaining, but I don't think it's something Bravo would want. And clearly they didn't want it because
they're lost.
They could, some of these women can be a liability.
Yeah,
they are. And, Andy doesn't play when it comes to,
Well, with each of those women, you know what you're going to get, right? You're not going to be surprised by whatever they do, whether it's good or bad. They all have a track record for sure.
I predict a lot of conflict. Everybody trying to be the boss.
Yeah, can't wait.
Jill's going to want to be the boss. Luann thinks she's the biggest star in the world, and darling, and
Kelly,
it's going to
jelly beans.
It's going to be
Kelly Bensma. Is she eating jelly beans in Scary Island?
Yes, she's eating her jelly beans and go to sleep.
You're not a chef. You're a cook. I don't know the difference. You're not a chef. I don't know. What do I know?
She is
she's
TV
a
gold
natural
as well.
Food chef.
Yeah,
but she's gone crazy lately too. I don't know. It's so funny.
She was crazy then. She's crazy then. She's crazy now. She's always going to be crazy.
I'll watch it.
Doug, thank you so much for coming to Reality Court. We can get your salts at saltery.store.
Yes.
We can book a cameo.
Yes.
We can go on your OnlyFans.
No.
No, but you can go on what is the one with
fans?
The lunch fan social.
Okay.
He does well at fan social.
Social was also basically OnlyFans. Like,
I
people
wish.
pay you.
I was
you
told,
go naked.
I was told I'm not allowed to have sex with any of the people who book me on a fan social. That's what Jeff told me. He's like, you can't have sex with them, and I was like,
and you're like, you really think I was going to?
Shot. All right.
Doug, I mean,
no, but you've done a lot of them.
I have.
Are you?
They're great.
You still have not had sex since the
Obama
what was it? Okay. I'm so sorry about that.
Oh my God,
sorry
Doug.
about that. But Doug, we love you here at Reality Court. Thank you for coming on. Please don't let this be the last time. Please don't let us have scared you off.
Truly.
We love you.
And remember Thursdays Cook and Kibitz.
Most
yes.
Thursdays.
Instagram Live. So fun.
Most Thursdays.
So fun.
Live at 5 p.m. Pacific, 8 p.m. Eastern, 6 Mountain, 7 Central, and 2 days earlier in Guam.
Oh.
Let me tell you something, Doug, about the truffle salt. Because the whole house is packed, right? But we had a snowstorm and we couldn't get Uber Eats. We couldn't go out. Nobody would deliver anything. For some reason, I put everything away, all the spices, but the truffle salt, because it was in those little bowls, because we've been using it, I have put it on everything. And seriously, can I tell you something? I love truffle, but like white truffle oil to me tastes always very synthetic when people put that on. But this has, because it's black truffle or it's a combo.
This has black truffle and white truffle, but there's no enhancer, or they add a lot of additives when you buy the truffle oil. Keep it
and
potent.
So I'm trying to look for things like we have chips and I had some creme fraiche and just some kettle chips or whatever. And I just put on creme fraiche the truffle salt. It is, have you tried that?
Well, not with creme fraiche, but with sour cream, yes. But yeah, I'm
Okay,
very
with
proud of
creme
it.
fraiche is
I
amazing.
thank you.
Ace doesn't know what creme fraiche is.
I was about to say, what the fuck is creme
Creme
fraiche?
fraiche is like grown-up sour cream. It's good.
Oh, okay.
He doesn't eat caviar either, so.
Well,
No,
but
I'm not fancy.
I'm so proud of what we came up with, and I love that it's a U.S. business. It's a woman-owned business, a small business.
It's so good.
So thank you. I appreciate it.
It's very good.
Thank you, Doug, so much for being here. We love you. Today is Thursday when this episode's coming out. What are you going to be making?
Oh, we're off this week. Cooking Kip.
Oh, darn
this
it.
week and next week because I'm having surgery.
That's right. The kidney stone.
I will be back on February 19 with Carney Wilson and others. So
and others.
February 19th, that's the day I'm doing my slide test. So we're going to be busy that day.
When you said the 19th, I said it's a Thursday. I knew.
Yeah. Wow. Guys, thank you so much, everyone, for listening. Thank you, Anna, for all of your amazing contributions. Thank you, Doug, for being the eye candy that we needed here today. Don't forget to check him out on OnlyFans. Thank you, Foss Media, for all the support. And as always, thank you, Beyonce. Please don't have us offed by the Illuminati. Thank you.
Yes.
Thank you, everyone. Have a good one. Goodbye.